don't owe everyone an explanation. The truth is, the more you explain yourself, the more you hand away your power. Every time you try to justify your choices, your dreams, your values, you invite someone else to sit in judgment of them. And when you do that, you let them question something that was never theirs to approve in the first place. Your choices, dreams, and values belong to you. They are the result of your experiences, your reflections, your hopes, and your deepest truths. No one else has lived your life. No one else has felt your fears, wrestled with your doubts, or carried your burdens. Because of that, no one else has earned the right to demand an explanation for why you are building the life you are building. When you truly understand that, you stop feeling the need to shrink your vision or dilute your passions just to make others feel more comfortable. You don't need to justify the dreams that live inside of you. Dreams are personal. They come from a place beyond logic and approval. They are often too big for small minds to understand. If you spend your life seeking validation before you act, you will live trapped inside other people's limitations. What matters is not whether they understand your dream. What matters is whether you are willing to honor it, to wake up every day and take a step toward it, even if no one else sees the vision clearly but you. So the same is true for your choices. Every choice you make shapes your path. Some choices are easy to explain. Others won't make sense to people who are not walking your road. And that's okay. You are not responsible for making your life look sensible to others. You are responsible for making it meaningful to yourself. Sometimes you will have to choose paths that confuse people, disappoint people, or even upset people. Their confusion is not your problem. Their disappointment is not your burden to carry. Your responsibility is to stay true to yourself, even when it's misunderstood. Your values are your internal compass. They guide you when the world tries to pull you in 100 different directions. You value what you value for a reason. Maybe it's honesty, maybe it's freedom, maybe it's courage. Whatever it is, it matters. It matters enough to live by, even if other people don't prioritize the same things. Apology. You don't have to explain why you stand for what you stand for. You don't have to make your values fit into someone else's mold. Living your values without apology is one of the strongest statements you can ever make. When you stop explaining yourself, something powerful happens. You create space for authenticity. You move from seeking permission to giving yourself permission. You stop performing for approval and start living in alignment. That alignment brings a sense of peace that no external validation can match. It also sends a clear message to the world: you know who you are, you know what you're about, and you're not asking for approval to be that person. Not everyone will like it. Not everyone will understand it. Some people will judge, some will walk away. Let them. You are not for everyone, and you were never supposed to be. The people who are meant to be part of your journey will respect you more for standing firm than for bending over backwards to explain yourself. Real connection comes from authenticity, not from approval. Protect your dreams. Guard your choices. Honor your values. They are the blueprint for the life you are meant to build. Trust yourself enough to know that you don't need to explain what makes you come alive. Live it, breathe it, walk it. The ones who need to see it will, and the ones who don't were never meant to. When you constantly explain yourself, you are unknowingly handing away your power. Every time you feel the need to justify your actions, your choices, or your dreams, you shift the control of your own life into someone else's hands. You put your worth, your direction, and your sense of self up for debate, as if others have the right to approve or deny the path you are choosing for yourself. Over time, this habit chips away at your confidence and clouds your clarity, making it harder for you to move forward with conviction. Power comes from owning your decisions without seeking validation. It comes from trusting yourself enough to know that your reasons are enough, even if no one else agrees with them. And when you stop to explain yourself at every turn, you open a door for others to insert their doubts, their fears, and their limited perspectives into your story. They start to question your motives, your plans, and even your abilities. Not because they know better, but because you gave them the space to do so. Unnecessary judgment often follows unnecessary explanation. People who do not understand your dreams, who do not see your vision, will naturally question it. That is not because your vision is wrong, it is because it is not theirs to see. When you invite their opinions through over-explanation, you invite confusion, misunderstanding, and even criticism that has nothing to do with the truth of your journey. Instead of strengthening your resolve, you find yourself doubting your instincts, hesitating at critical moments, and second-guessing paths that once felt right. You were never meant to spend your energy convincing others why you deserve to follow your own dreams. That energy is sacred. It is meant to be spent building, creating, learning, growing, and becoming. Every explanation you offer to those who have not earned the right to hear it is a withdrawal from your own energy bank. And over time, too many withdrawals leave you depleted, tired, and disconnected from your true mission. There is a difference between sharing your story and explaining your choices. Sharing comes from a place of strength. Explaining often comes from a place of insecurity. When you share, you invite others into your world without asking them to approve of it. When you explain, you are subtly asking for acceptance, which gives away your authority over your own life. Learning to recognize this difference is key to holding onto your power. You do not need to justify your goals. You do not need to justify your healing, your boundaries, your ambitions, or your lifestyle choices. The people who are aligned with your purpose will respect you whether they fully understand you or not. The people who are not aligned will not suddenly become supportive just because you offered them a detailed explanation. Your job is not to translate your spirit for those unwilling to learn your language. Your job is to walk your path with your head held high and your heart anchored in truth. Standing firm without explaining yourself sends a powerful message. It says you know who you are and where you are going. It shows others that you have nothing to prove and that your value does not depend on outside opinions. In doing so, you naturally attract respect. People may not always agree with you, but they will recognize that you are serious, intentional, and unshakable. And that kind of presence cannot be ignored. The next time you feel the urge to explain yourself, pause. Remember that your life is not a courtroom, and you are not on trial. You are the architect of your future, not the defendant of your past. Keep building, keep moving. Let your results, your growth, and your peace speak for themselves. That is where true power lives. True respect is not something that can be demanded, begged for, or explained into existence. It is earned through the way you carry yourself, the way you show up day after day, and the quiet strength that speaks louder than any words ever could. Presence, consistency, and quiet confidence form the foundation of real respect, not the endless cycle of trying to justify who you are or what you are doing. Presence is about being fully grounded where you are. It is the energy you bring into a room without saying a word. It is the calm certainty in your posture, the way you listen without rushing to defend yourself, and the way you hold your space without needing to dominate others. Presence shows that you are comfortable within your own skin. It reveals a deep internal stability that does not rely on others' opinions for validation. When people feel your presence, they instinctively sense that you are someone who knows their worth, someone who does not need to broadcast or oversell themselves. That kind of groundedness commands respect. Consistency is where trust is built. It is not about flashy moments or grand speeches. It is about showing up the same way, whether people are watching or not. It is doing what you said you would do, keeping promises to yourself and others, and moving with integrity even when it is inconvenient. Consistency proves that you are reliable, and reliability is a rare and powerful trait. People may admire talent or charisma in the short term, but they respect those who are steady, dependable, and unwavering over the long haul. Every time you stay true to your word, you are reinforcing your credibility. Every time you align your actions with your values, even in the small things, you are strengthening the foundation upon which real respect is built. Quiet confidence is different from arrogance or loud self-promotion. It is the belief in yourself that does not need to be shouted from rooftops. It shows in your decisions, in your posture, in the way you handle success and setbacks alike. Quiet confidence is born from experience, from surviving things that once scared you, from failing and getting back up, from knowing that you can trust yourself no matter what. It is a power that doesn't fluctuate based on the approval of others. When you walk with quiet confidence, you do not need to convince people to respect you. They feel it. They see it in the way you speak only when you have something to say, the way you listen more than you talk, and the way you move forward with purpose rather than noise. On the other hand, justification weakens your position. When you constantly explain yourself, you subtly communicate doubt about your choices. You suggest that your value or your decisions are up for debate, that others have the power to grant or withhold legitimacy from your life. People can sense that. They pick up on the insecurity hidden within every long explanation and defensive posture. Justification invites judgment rather than respect. It turns your life into a negotiation when it should be a declaration. Respect grows strongest in the soil of authenticity and inner strength. It does not require performance. It does not ask for approval. It stands firm and lets time, actions, and outcomes speak. Those who carry presence, who practice consistency, and who walk with quiet confidence do not need to chase validation. They inspire it simply by being who they are. When you decide that your energy is better spent living than explaining, building rather than convincing, you step into a different kind of power. You create a space where the right people will recognize your strength without needing a word. You leave behind the noise and the constant chase, and you step into the kind of respect that lasts because it is rooted in something real, something unshakable. That is the respect worth having, and it begins within you. Owning your uniqueness without apology is one of the most powerful things you can ever do. It means standing fully in who you are, without shrinking, without diluting yourself to fit into someone else's idea of who you should be. When you embrace your quirks, your passions, your differences without shame, you naturally command respect because you are showing others what it looks like to be unapologetically yourself. People are drawn to authenticity because it is rare. They are inspired by those who have the courage to live their truth openly, even when it's uncomfortable, even when it's misunderstood. There's something magnetic about a person who does not flinch in the face of judgment. When you stop seeking permission to be yourself, you shift the dynamic. Instead of chasing approval, you radiate an energy that says you are already enough. That energy speaks louder than any words could. It tells people that you are not here to be anyone's version of acceptable. You are here to live fully, to create freely, and to move boldly according to your own values and dreams. Uniqueness is not a flaw to fix or a weakness to hide. It is your greatest advantage. In a world that often rewards imitation, originality shines even brighter. Your unique perspective, your way of seeing the world, your approach to problems, your style, your story, these are the things that set you apart. They are the tools through which you leave your mark. When you own them fully, you create a space where you are not just tolerated, you are respected for exactly who you are. Apology waters down that power. Every time you apologize for being different, you tell yourself and others that there is something wrong with you. You shrink your own brilliance to fit into someone else's narrow frame. You give others the idea that their standards are more important than your authenticity. Over time, this erodes your confidence and dims your light. But when you stop apologizing and start celebrating what makes you different, you build a foundation of self-respect that invites others to meet you there. Respect follows those who respect themselves first. When you walk into a room knowing your worth, knowing that you bring something valuable simply by being yourself, you change the energy around you. People feel that certainty. They may not always understand it, but they sense that you are not someone who can be easily swayed or diminished. You show them through your actions, your decisions, and your presence that you are not negotiable. You set the tone for how others are allowed to treat you, not through demands or explanations, but through the unwavering way you inhabit your own skin. Owning your uniqueness also gives others permission to own theirs. It creates a ripple effect. When someone sees you living authentically, it challenges them to look at the parts of themselves they have hidden away. It inspires courage. It sparks change. In that way, your decision to live unapologetically becomes a gift, not just to yourself, but to everyone you encounter. There will always be people who misunderstand you, who are uncomfortable with what they cannot categorize or control. Let them. Your purpose is not to make everyone comfortable. Your purpose is to live fully, to express freely, and to become everything you were created to be. The right people, the ones who are meant to be part of your journey, will not just accept your uniqueness. They will honor it. They will respect you not despite your differences, but because of them. Owning your uniqueness is not just about confidence, it is about truth. It is about standing in the fullness of who you are and knowing that you are worthy, not because you fit a mold, but because you were never meant to. You are worthy because you exist, and when you own that truth without apology, you become unstoppable. The people who truly matter in your life are the ones who will respect your journey without needing explanations. They will see the light in your eyes when you speak about your dreams. They will notice the effort you pour into your growth, your healing, your ambitions. They won't need a full report of why you made certain choices or a detailed justification for why you decided to take a different path. Their respect will come from a place of trust, not from interrogation. When you find yourself constantly explaining your every move to people, pause and ask yourself if they are the ones meant to walk alongside you. Those who matter understand that your life is uniquely yours. They recognize that they don't need to grasp every detail to honor your process. They respect the unseen battles you've fought, the silent victories you've won, and the quiet persistence that keeps you moving forward even when no one is watching. They know that everyone's journey is personal and sacred. Respect from the right people is never conditional. It is not something you have to earn by meeting their expectations or proving yourself worthy of their approval. It is freely given, rooted in mutual understanding and genuine care. These people don't measure your worth by how closely your life aligns with their opinions. They celebrate your individuality and stand by you even when your choices are different from theirs. The ones who matter will not require you to diminish your dreams to make them feel comfortable. They won't ask you to tone down your ambitions or water down your spirit. They won't demand that you explain why you chose the difficult road or why you refuse to settle for less than you deserve. They will respect the fire within you because they too have felt the call of something greater. They too know what it means to chase a dream that no one else can fully understand. When you stop explaining yourself to everyone, you create room for the right people to step closer. You make space for relationships built on acceptance rather than judgment. You invite in those who see your heart without needing a map, who hear your silence and still understand your strength. These are the connections that nourish you, the ones that don't drain your spirit with endless questioning or demands for justification. You do not owe anyone an explanation for the life you are building. Your dreams, your growth, your healing, all of it is yours. Those who truly care about you will recognize that. They will trust you to know your own heart, even when they can't fully see the picture you are painting. They will offer support, encouragement, and love without strings attached. It's easy to fall into the trap of believing that respect must be earned through constant explanation and justification. But true respect isn't born from convincing others to understand you. It comes from living your truth so fully and unapologetically that others have no choice but to honor your authenticity. It comes from walking your path with integrity, even when it's lonely, even when it's misunderstood. Not everyone is meant to walk with you to your destination. Some were only meant to accompany you for a season, to teach you something about strength, resilience, or self-worth. Bless them, release them, and keep moving. Your journey isn't up for debate. It's not a group project. It's a personal mission. Trust that the right people will find you along the way, not because you explained yourself perfectly, but because you lived so authentically that they recognize something of themselves in you. Stay true to your path. Trust your inner compass. The ones who are meant for you will not require a map or a long explanation. They will meet you where you are, honor where you've been, and believe in where you are going. There is a quiet power in letting your actions, growth, and results speak louder than words. In a world filled with noise and constant chatter, true impact is often made in the silence of your deeds, the consistency of your progress, and the undeniable outcomes that naturally follow when you are aligned with your purpose. Words can be persuasive, but actions are what truly define you. While words are fleeting, actions leave a lasting imprint. They reflect the authenticity of your intentions and the commitment to your journey. You don't need to convince anyone of your potential or your worth. Too often we fall into the trap of explaining ourselves, defending our decisions, or justifying our plans. We may feel that unless we share every thought and strategy, people won't understand or appreciate the work we're putting in. But the reality is, your actions speak for you. They'll always carry more weight than any explanation. Actions create evidence. They tell the story of who you are and what you stand for without the need for any further commentary. When people see you consistently working toward your goals, putting in the effort, and making progress, even if it's small, they come to respect you, not because of your words, but because of your persistence. Right, too, is a form of communication. When you invest in your personal and professional development, when you push yourself beyond what you once thought was possible, it is a testament to your commitment. Growth doesn't need to be broadcasted. It's seen in your choices, your resilience, and your ability to handle challenges. People notice how you evolve, how you take responsibility for your shortcomings and learn from them. They witness your transformation, not because you talk about it, but because it's evident in the way you show up every day, in the way you approach obstacles with greater wisdom, in the way your mindset shifts as you continue to grow. You don't have to explain why you are capable or deserving of success. The results will demonstrate it for you. People will recognize your accomplishments without you having to say a word, and they will respect you for the hard work it took to get there.